and welcome to True Faith's Full-Time Whistle with me, Adam. It's finished at St James's Park. It's finished Newcastle United 2, Bournemouth 1. This was the result that I actually called before the game. I had a momentary lapse of optimism, which hasn't been seen very often so far this season, but we did it. Off the back of a very, very good result against West Ham last week, we brought that form and we brought that attacking threat back to St James's Park, and we caused problems. And the defensive display, particularly today, I thought was excellent. And, credit to Bruce for the organisation today, because obviously in the first couple of minutes, Callum Wilson was chasing the ball through. He basically, what looked like to me, I might be wrong here, I haven't seen any replays, I've just come straight from the game. There was a nudge in the back of Lascelles. He went into Dubravka. They both got injured, and Lascelles didn't last too much longer. Dubravka thankfully made the whole game. But that nudge in the back, which wasn't punished, by the way, especially in the wake of the Heung-min Son incident last week with Andre Gomez. Yes, that was rescinded, but it was still, it's still quite dangerous play as far as I'm concerned. Nothing was given, and Lascelles had to go off quite early. Dummett came in, and Kieran Clark shifted to the middle. And honestly, the display from our defenders today was excellent. When we were under the cosh a lot, we knew we were never going to have possession. We knew we were going to be chasing the game. As it turned out, I think we had about 33% possession today, but we had about 3 times the amount of shots on target than they did. And our attacking threat was there. We had 20 shots. We had 20 shots today. And even though things weren't massively going right for us in the first half, I still felt that the Bournemouth were always there for the taking. We were inventive. We were creative. And I thought the kinds of moves that we were coming up with were pretty good. Give or take, like the shot, like the Miggy air swipe, for example, or Saint-Maximin getting through from a mistake from the Bournemouth defender. He went right to go high and hard, but he just went a little bit too high, bounces off the bar. We definitely had chances, and we definitely caused them problems when we were running directly at them. And this is what, as long as Almiron and Saint-Maximin can continue to do this, defenders are going to shit themselves, because they just can't handle the direct attacking threat of somebody so pacey, the pair of them, the pace, their close control, their technique. Yes, their decision-making at times leaves a lot to be desired. If you remember last week against West Ham, they both conspired to miss what was essentially an open goal for both of them. They sort of did the same thing in the second half as well tonight. But we went behind, and this is a lapse of concentration. I've obviously applauded the defensive performance today, and it was very, very cleverly worked from Bournemouth. You'd expect nothing less from an Eddie Howe side. It was very canny. It was shrewd, but even a few clever passes from a corner does not excuse leaving a player like Harry Wilson just open he had nobody around him. Easiest goal he's ever going to score in the Premier League. And that was a blow. That was a disappointing start. But again, the fact that we've come from behind, the character that we've shown today, again, the character that we showed last week to maintain an unexpected lead. Today, we came from behind, and, Saint-Maximin eventually managed to get an assist. Yedlin diving headed it on the line. He probably won't thank him for that, because I think it was going in. But as far as I'm concerned, we just needed that to be better safe than sorry. Of course, everyone was nervous when it started celebrating it. I was pretty convinced that it was going to be all right. I don't know why. Maybe I'd had too many vodkas. But the goal stood, and I tell you what, Miggy Almiron turned to the east stand where I was as soon as that was awarded, and he was riled up, and it was great to see. Another really funny moment on my end of the pitch as well was when Willems got injured. I think he hurt his hand, and he was sort of giving it a bit that. And there's a lovely moment between Adam Smith and Saint-Maximin. And Saint-Maximin was essentially laughing at Jethro Willems rolling around on the ground with Adam Smith. It was, thankfully, Willems was all right, but it was quite a lovely human moment of Saint-Maximin proper rinsing his own player. So I thought that was worth mentioning. So 1-1. at the break. There was a big roar again at the end of the first half. There really seemed to be a good atmosphere, considering it had been like silent at times. And again, it was very silent. There was probably about 44,000 there today. But the second half, I felt, the fact that we started with, the goal. It was a ball played over from a set piece, came deep. Fede Fernandez, who, I'll just stop at this point. Fede Fernandez, probably my man of the match today. He was superhuman. He was gargantuan. He was an absolute colossus. The balls he won in the air, the tackles he made, he threw his body in the way so many times, and he saved us points there today. Make no mistake about that. He was superb. Quick mention of Yedlin as well for his first half clearance off the line. Obviously, he had 2 goal line action moments in that first half, saving a goal and scoring a goal. So fair play to DeAndre Yedlin. Brilliant stuff. I thought, so Fede Fernandez headed it down in the box. It was pinball stuff in a sense. It could have hit an arm. It sort of bobbled out. Kieran Clark, the best chipped finish over the goalkeeper from a defender I've seen since Olivier Bernard against Chelsea all those years ago, that little dink. And he did a little dink, got totally wiped out. But Kieran Clark again, just stick him up front, Bruce. Just stick him up front. Just give him a free roll. He cannot stop scoring. Absolutely brilliant. And again, there was a bit of hesitation about whether that, but the celebrations were raucous. It was brilliant. I'm hoarse because I thought the referee was absolutely atrocious today, Martin Atkinson. He allowed the game to boil over, which we saw that sort of boil over in the second half where there was a big ruckus. This is it. Like, if those little nudges in the back, and I mentioned one earlier, but there was a few more. Willems in the first half got bundled over as he was running towards goal. There was loads of little nudges in the back, weren't given, but he was giving Bournemouth the same level of nudges in the back and little fouls, cheap little fouls. And that wasn't fair. And that's why I got riled up. That's why I couldn't stop swearing at Martin Atkinson. And I will apologise for nothing, because he fully deserved it. Jetro Willems got a head injury. Linesman didn't see it. Referee didn't see it. Everyone was shouting for it. He went down, clutching his head. I mean, is that not... He has to stop the game immediately if there's a head injury. Surely he has to. Didn't. It took him about a minute to stop the game. I just thought he was very, very poor, very inconsistent, and it seemed that all those 50-50s seemed to go Bournemouth's way. There was a moment in the second half, possibly Adam Smith again, but it was definitely Saint-Maximin running through, and it was a 50-50. They both fell over, bounced off each other. Saint-Maximin got up again, but Almiron was running through. I thought he was brilliant industry today from Almiron, going forward and chasing back as well. He really helped out defensively. And he was running through, and the referee somehow gave Bournemouth a free kick. Absolute bullshit. And this was not an isolated incident. This happened time and time again. So we were having to play against that as well. Andy Carroll came on. I thought he threw himself about a bit. Defensively, I thought he was absolutely excellent, to the point that he even did a diving header, knowing he was going to get kicked in the face. Still did it, though, because he's Andy Carroll and he's Raj and he's Mint. And it was just a joy to see. We were very, very close. Corners at the end that Bournemouth had, so tense. So very tense. But we held on, and that's a massive win to get back-to-back wins. I've challenged Steve Bruce to, yes, get a good win, but don't negate that by playing poorly the next week. He's not done that this week. He's played a blinder. 2 very, very good performances against good mid-table sides that we technically are below, I think, in terms of ability, although West Ham did get hummed again today. So I think we've done really, really well today. I thought Joe Linton had his best performance in a black and white shirt. I thought Shelvey put himself about a bit, and actually getting the captaincy when Jamal Lascelles went off, I think gave him an extra edge today. Yes, we struggled to control the game in the middle of the park. That's always going to be an issue. I don't think we have the players to do that anyway, which is kind of why we're never going to have a high possession. We're always going to have to look for those, counter-attack on the break. But I thought Willems had a really good game. Clark was good. Fernandez, I've already mentioned, I thought was excellent. And, like I said, the two wide players, the forwards, just caused havoc. And Shelvey's balls over the top, I thought really caused problems. we have something here. We suddenly have an attacking threat. In the last 2 games, we have seen attacking threat like we haven't seen before. It's almost like something has clicked, fingers crossed, on the training ground for Steve Bruce, that we are finally taking the game to our opponents. And I fully expect to do that next, I believe, at Villa Park. So, huge win, brilliant win. I'll absolutely take that. Man of the match, Fede Fernandez. You are a fucking defensive god, mate. I've been Adam. This has been True Faith's Full-Time Whistle. If you haven't already subscribed to our free podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, please do so. And we'll see you next time for another True Faith's Full-Time Whistle. Bye-zy-bye.